All right. So I'm home right now, and I'm trying to like relax, but I can't relax because even while I was trying to like go to sleep, I wake up, my brain feels like it's being like or vaporized or something like that, or like it's being cooked from the inside out. And I'm literally like trying to sit down and watch a show or whatever, and I can't even sit comfortably because in both of my kidneys there are these very powerful hot frequencies going right into each of my kidneys. The sources of where they're coming from, I'm not even really sure. Let me check the right one. Okay, so I feel I feel the carrier wave of the frequency going into my right kidney. But when I try to reach backwards and try to see where it's sourcing from, it's like as I extend my hand back, remember your aura is basically like a sphere around your body. As I extend my hand back, I could see that it almost kind of like it reaches almost like a limit. Like at some point there is like that point of where the end of my aura is at. So if I try to track it, so right now I have the frequency in between my thumb and index finger, right? As I'm moving it, I could feel the energy of the carrier wave, like basically going in between my thumb and index finger. As I move it back and forth, I could feel it on the side of my palm. Now, as I move, as I move like this, I could literally feel my hand kind of like pulling the frequency. Now, I'm just really just trying to trace it, right? Now, honestly, I think it's really just going to come right back to the phone, because that's what it's doing, is coming back to the phone. And lo and behold, where it actually comes from is literally the phone. It's coming. This is an iPhone SE. Anytime I'm feeling frequencies and my phone is nearby, it usually is always coming from either the phone, because the phone is given off like a powerful enough um, electromagnetic field that they can basically, use the phone sensors and whatnot to basically steer where they want the energy to go. So your phone is basically, like, more times than likely, your phone is being used as a transmitter for if whenever they're remotely trying to send specific commands or stimulations to your body. Your phone works as a transmitter. Your phone works as a transmitter. It has more than enough of the sensor capabilities to transmit whatever frequencies that it needs to basically modulate and interfere with different functions of your body. Yeah, and the iPhone SE, as I exhale, I feel more of the energy, kind of like, so when I exhale, right, with each exhale, I am also expelling more of the energy. I got energy expelling from the skull, and it kind of comes out. It comes down, like it escapes through, like maybe there's some like little nano holes or some crevices or something in it or cavities, and then it escapes out, and then it comes out through the mouth. That's one. The second one is while I'm holding the frequency that's connected to my right kidney. I got another one that's connected to my left, and I'm moving, and I never let it go. It's still in between. It's like right here, like the it's like the let me see how can I put it. I had my hand like this, right? So I'm gonna say this is where the frequency is inserting to the body. This is the part where it's exiting, right? Or wait. Okay, yeah, inserting into the body. And yeah. So palm is where it's entering into the body, and then the back of the hand is basically where I can basically trace it back to its original source. Or did I flip it? I might have flipped it. Yeah, so I think the back of the hand is what's inserting into the body, and then the palm is basically where I can find and track and trace where it's coming from. So I then basically flip it around, and then it comes back to the phone. The phone itself, all around, it has a field produced all around it. Let me just show you. Remember, your phone gives off an electromagnetic field of radiation, right? Right. So the phone gives off an electromagnetic field. Now, you remember my last video where I was standing in this exact spot and it was literally going off the roof. It was like the readings were going completely off the scale, right? Now, it's not necessarily giving off that same reading anymore. I'm literally still standing in the same exact spot that I was with the other video. And then now it's not giving off that same. Now it's not giving off that. That's 2021 right now, but that's still pretty high. Oh, there we go. So there's like a sweet spot. Right. So now all of a sudden the number. Right. This is the spot right here. Here it is. Now there's nothing like, I mean, you see that in itself, this right here, it doesn't even have enough power to actually stay on. So it couldn't be possibly coming from that. It couldn't possibly be coming from that because it doesn't even have enough power to stay on. There's no other electronic device over here. No other electronic device. But yet it is going off the chain right now. Like, it is literally going wild. Now if I move from that spot, it goes away. I come over here, goes off the chain. Now, my girlfriend and I, we did. Why is there a dime in there? Why is there a dime in the fuse box? Oh, so, all right, I'm glad I just noticed this. I never noticed that last night. So let me tell you, we decided to try a little experiment, right? The fuse box doesn't necessarily say what goes what, right? So these two are the true fuse things that actually go for the whole apartment, right? We took out, and then we even checked out this one. We took that one up. That one doesn't do anything. We placed them right there for now. But now all of a sudden, I'm now noticing there's a dime in there. Why is there a dime in there? Let me see something. Use plastic, not something else that can. Like there was a whole dime in there. Why would there be a dime inside of a fuse box? Wow. Yeah. And I set this down and it's still ringing on. Look, I can't make this up, y'all. I'm like, I can't make this up. So anyway, yes, your phone gives off an electromagnetic field, but your phone also works as a transmitter for them. With I don't fully get it yet, but I'm pretty sure because of the satellite, because of the capabilities of satellites, and then with the increased, let's say, how can I put it? Like I tell you guys all the time, I am not an expert at anything. I am literally just putting things together, and I formulate a hypothesis or a theory until it's proven. And I'm thinking, like one thing I know for sure, satellites are more than capable of seeing through walls because they can also use the sensors built in the satellites that can see through the walls, and I'm pretty sure they can also see electromagnetic fields. I did find out through the AI chatbot that artificial intelligence and machine learning can be used to basically scan and assess the electromagnetic fields of an area. So when you think about it, let's say if they wanted to, we're talking about cloud computing, we're talking about satellites, and we're talking about numerous radio frequencies scattered all throughout. I mean, I know you guys remember me posting videos of fake cell towers. Fake cell towers are basically giving off numerous amounts of radio frequencies or radiation, and then like they're not real cell towers. They're not like the real ones you see up out in the street and whatnot. No, these are different. They're like cell towers for the metaverse or something like that. These fake cell towers are basically bombarding us all in. They're like bathing us all in these radio frequencies. This allows them to be able to see everything. Because in order for you, let me see, how does it go? I think it goes, if you bathe something in a strong enough field, it'll basically, I guess, maybe amplify the frequencies of that particular thing. I forgot how it goes, but Yeah, I wish I could like really find out like all the details, but I mean, I just gotta be patient with God because I know God's been God and my guardian angels have been guiding me every step of the way for me to get to the point of where I'm at with understanding some of these things. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, they're using these fake cell towers to basically give them the ability to see everything, right? The satellites, as they're looking down from space with the fake cell towers, with it all combined, it's creating that that it's creating that ability to be able to see everything. Because ah, it's like I'm right there, but I just don't have all the pieces. It's like I have it's like I feel like I have so much of it, but it's not enough for it to be like completely undeniable. Um oh snap. I just realized when I took that dime out, when I took that dime, when I took that dime, oh snap. When I took that dime out of the fuse box, all of a sudden, the light switch over here, okay, this light switch, since we've been here, when you flip it on, power is given to this outlet here. But since I took that dime out, now there's no power over here. So let me see something. I'm glad I got this going right now. So all right. Now I'm gonna just see what happens if I plug this back in here. No power. Huh. No power still. Okay. Wait a minute. That's that's interesting. All right. Wait. Maybe that one is dead because it. Maybe this fuse might be dead because there's no. This fuse. This just show you what this looks like. This fuse looked like. I don't know. This might just be a blown fuse here. So let me try another one. Shoot, I might as well just submit this to Con Ed. To let Con Ed know. Alright, so I'm trying this fuse over here. See if I get the power back going over there. Cause I'm like, why was there a dime in there? No power. You telling me I gotta leave a dime in there just to keep this, just to have power over there? What the hell is going on over here? The power's not back. Okay. So you know what? Let me see something. So I just tried that fuse. That one didn't work. So you telling me I have to put a dime in here just to get that to work? You telling me I gotta put a dime in there just to get it to work? But wait, no, because now the power's not on at all. Because remember, I took the dime out. I took the dime was in there and it had power. But now that I put the dime back, what? So now there's no power over there. That's so strange. So now that I took the dime out, there's no power in that outlet now. Huh. Good thing I made this video. Wow, there's so many little things about this apartment that I'm learning now. Like, wow, so now there's no power going into that outlet over there. And I put the dime back. Let me be careful because the fact that there was oh my goodness, there's sparks coming out and everything. Oh, there's sparks coming out. Ooh, there are sparks coming out of this thing. Still no power. Wow. So I took the dime out, put it back. Now the power is not coming back on. Okay, so now the power's back on. Is that safe? I'm like, is that safe? Look, the power's back on, right? But that's only because I put the dime back. Is that safe at all? I'm not an electrician, but for some reason, I don't think that's safe. Look, I can't make this up. I can't make this up. All I know is I'm just going to post it and hopefully, yeah, I don't think and like when I grew up, right, I had a fuse box like this in a apartment, and I have never seen like, yeah, I don't know. That's weird to me. That's weird. Yeah, and it's funny because I just think about all the people that was telling me, don't go, don't do it, yo, and I feel like I did it again. Like the first time I moved out the second time rather, that I moved out my mother's apartment and got an apartment uptown here in the BX. I remember a whole bunch of people telling me, no, don't go, don't do it, da da da. And I was just excited to have my own first apartment or whatever, da da da. But then I didn't know that was September 2019. I didn't realize in March of 2020 I was gonna get sucked into a street theater and, be a part of some, experiment where they're like basically getting people who probably have, felonies or whatever, or who probably got charges that they're trying to get, dropped or whatever. And they basically decide to, work with, who knows, secret societies or government agencies or whatever the case may be, so that they cannot, face the time that they do. Because remember, all of this started because this dude hit this girl. This dude had hit this girl, and then she ran out into the hallway, had blood on her, talking about somebody call the police, he hit me. So my friend that was visiting from out of town, she was concerned. So, her and I, we checked out the situation, and my friend, my friend, she's like, Chris, let me get your cell phone so I can call the police. And and to this day, I still find it strange because she always has her cell phone on her. So I was like, I didn't think about it at the time, but I was just like, all right, I got my phone on me, so I just gave it to her, So then next thing you know, between March of 2020 and October of 2020, I've been noticing all these weird things happening in the apartment, like the toilet bowl just kept flushing by itself. Well, not even really flushing, because the water wouldn't drain. It wouldn't flush in the bowl, but like the tank in the back, you would just hear that sound like it was just constantly being drained or whatever, something like that. Then I would be hearing like these knocking sounds on the wall, like I'll be hearing that. And it'll be coming from the bathroom though. It would be coming from the bathroom walls. Then I would like literally be like I would be sitting on my couch watching TV in my old apartment, and then all of a sudden I would hear at right above my head someone dropping marbles. Like it'll be like one drop of like one marble drop on the floor. Little did I know, all of that was basically them syncing my brain up so that they can basically get me, I guess they were training the AI to learn my brain waves or something like that. Little did I know. And then also, I did not know that I had a whole Wi-Fi router inside of my apartment. I had a whole Wi-Fi router inside of my apartment that I was unaware of. And then God knows that they probably already had access to that Wi-Fi router. So they were already bathing me in the frequencies of that Wi-Fi router. And then I didn't know, like I literally was the experiment, and I'm still the experiment. But now, well, I don't think, I don't know how much of an experiment I am now, because at this point, I've basically been learning and telling too much. So at this point, I might actually just be targeted now. Because remember, they originally wanted me to become a police officer. And there were many times where, I'd be out in the street, and then I would hear someone say he was supposed to become a police officer. And then I would, even the handlers themselves, they would say, all he had to do was just become a police officer. And I'm like, and I'm getting chills when I say this. That's how I know God is with me while I'm speaking. And it's like, why would I want to become a police officer if I don't actually want to become a police officer? But then the more I started learning about what they can do with this technology and how they can use these light and sound frequencies, mostly the light penetrating through the skull to, interact with certain neurons, they were, for all I know, they probably were literally programming certain things into my mind. So then if I were to become a police officer, I don't know, maybe I might have hidden skills that I don't know about. I have no idea, because this technology is highly invasive. And if they're remotely doing it from satellites or whatever, like, nobody probably is who they really think they are, because if people can't feel and they don't know, if people can't feel and they don't know how things are happening to them, or they can't tell that like someone is doing stuff to them, then it's kind of like, well, clearly everyone's a Manchurian candidate at this point. Literally anyone's a Manchurian candidate. Sleeper agents, because all they got is, if basically everyone has a handler, then that means it literally can be as something as simple as, if they want to take a specific person out, and all they have to do is make sure they have whoever they're controlling within that area, then they can transmit signals to that person's brain to probably activate certain things, or even just like give them the thought or the impulse to want to do something to somebody. And they might not even understand why they want to do it, but it's just an impulse. And then they can amplify the energy of that thought, because it's like, first they code it up, then it's converted from computer code to radio frequencies, then it's then transmitted. The brain then receives that transmission, and then it decodes it. Now your brain starts to resonate with whatever that transmission was. So now, so many people out here probably don't even know, at any given point, they could literally end up becoming an assassin for somebody and don't even realize it. It really got me thinking now that so in New York City, we definitely tend to have a lot of crimes where it's like, it seemed like a person would literally just be sitting down, just waiting for the bus. They could literally just be sitting here waiting for the bus. They're not thinking about nobody. They're not whatever. Then all of a sudden, some random person, unprovoked, just comes and does something to them. And that has happened several times. There's videos where, like, I remember, now they got a whole bunch of frequencies all going all up and down, like between my throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus, not so much, but the sacral chakra. And what are they doing up there? Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be bothered by it. I mean, it's daytime, so whatever. But yo, I wonder if any of this type of stuff is happening in third world countries. Because in third world countries, they don't have much electricity. So I'm like, is targeting going on in third world countries? I'm like, you know what? I started to tell myself, if I actually ever became destitute, and let's say, I guess, all my friends and family no longer want to be around me, which would be odd, because when I'm actually around people, I'm still the same person. I'm not like how you see me in the videos and how I'm speaking. This is how I always am. I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not hallucinating. I know that, because everything that I've been finding out about all this, it's all been explainable in black and white, whether it was written by a bunch of doctors or it was a military exercise or operation or experiment. Everything that I've been mentioning is literally in black and white. You can read it, you can find it. But what I'm saying is, what is happening is not normal. And what is happening, this is beyond street anything. This is bigger than street level crimes. That's why I kind of almost, I mean, yeah, you want to, most TIs, they make their police reports and stuff, but the police, I mean, yeah, that's the paper trail, but they are sorely under, what's the word? Under-equipped or ill-equipped to deal with stuff like this. That's why they tell you, well, that's pretty much why they was like, you know, you either gonna become a snitch or you gonna become a cop. So I don't know. But yeah. I felt bad. I actually feel bad for cops now. Because it's like, yo, if everyone else but cops have this technology, yo, it's like, what real protection do people actually have? And then I was thinking about it and I was like, yo, if I had a signal jammer could probably cause so much interference with all these frequencies that they're using against us. But the problem is, a signal jammer is considered illegal, at least here in New York City. I don't know if it's illegal all over the state, all over the country. But a signal jammer will probably be very, very beneficial for all TIs, right? I don't know. Now, I don't want to tell people to go and get a signal jammer, because the thing you got to remember is when you use a signal jammer, and especially if you don't know just how broad the jammer is going to, span out, you could literally disrupt the telecommunications of other people's phones and devices within the jamming area, which could be very dangerous, because if someone has a medical emergency, they're trying to dial out, but they can't dial out and they don't understand why. They don't realize you got a signal jammer in your house. So it's like, and then you know what? There's a story about it. A guy in I think it was in New Jersey or something like that. It was either New Jersey or Connecticut. He had a problem with his kids always wanting to be on their cell phones when they're supposed to be going to sleep. So what he did was he bought a signal jammer for the house. But he didn't realize his signal jammer was expanding farther than his house. It was literally knocking out communications for several people in the area. So then when the reports got out that people didn't have, communication access, police or whatever, they tracked where the interference was coming from, and then they found him. Then they basically charged him for, possession of a signal jammer. Well, I forgot what the charges were called, but I'm like, come on, you tell me the one defense that I possibly could use, I can't, because then I might be incriminating myself. But yet, you telling me some of the worst people in this world have access to technology that most people could never even fathom is even real. That's mind-blowing. That's so mind-blowing. That's I'm like, I'm getting I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. And I'm like, that's how you know this is literally has been set up for decades to carry out a genocide. Like, they literally set this up to be just like this. They knew that most people wouldn't have the idea or the thought to think that radio frequencies can actually interfere or manipulate the nervous system of a human being. Let alone not even just a human being, any animal or I don't know about bugs or insects, but these frequencies, they interfere with birds, they interfere with animals and humans, right? But then it's like, you telling me that people can't have a signal jammer to protect them from these types of weapons. So I'm glad I'm saying this, because I'm like, maybe someone has to talk about these things out loud. Why? Because what if it actually does work? What if there's a TI that probably lives somewhere, they probably live a good safe distance from other people, and then they actually get a signal jammer? I could see how this could be used against me. But you know what? I'm willing to take that chance. I mean, they already trying to kill me slowly now anyway. And then they already are talking about how they got setups for me, and people waiting for me to go to prison, so then I guess I could get killed in prison. people waiting for me to get locked up so then they could probably kill me in jail and say, oh, it was a suicide or something like that. I gotta put on the whole armor of God. I gotta put on the whole armor of God, and truth is my biggest thing. So I have to use what I have. They're like, oh, secret society don't want him talking about this and whatnot. But I'm like, these people are killing. They're not even killing the people who's actually making the country worse. They're killing they're killing genuine good citizens, people who like don't cause no harm to anyone. And then if anything, they're killing the people who actually tries to fight the good fight. They're killing them, but then they're rewarding people who spent most of their life destroying other people's lives. They're rewarding them, but then killing everybody who's doing good, right? And then I'm hearing all four of the handlers. They're like, oh, he comfortable with snitching on people he don't know. He don't realize we're a secret society. Yo, the whole streets is looking for him. Everybody watching him. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, this is how you know we are definitely in those end time days. Like, we really are, because if they waited this long to fully unleash this weapon out to the world. They waited this long. They had these weapon capabilities for decades. We all know the Nazis have been developing this weapon. They advanced it even more during MK Ultra. Then when MK Ultra got shot down, they just basically moved it into more secrecy. So it's like, I have to accept the fact that I can and possibly will die, and not naturally, because there's so many people that are looped into this system. There's so many people benefiting and profiting off of this system. Yes, they will kill me, so then they won't basically have money taken out of their pockets and food taken out of their mouths, because this is how they basically allowed themselves to become dependent. They depend on destroying the lives of innocent people so that they can be able to get by. But here's the thing that I just can't seem to get, right? The people that they employ to carry out these attacks on non-combatant, non-violent citizens, the people that they employ to carry these things out, do the elites actually want to keep them in the future that they're planning for? Because if we die, right, we're the people that actually don't do anything wrong to others. If anything, we try to stand up, for those who can't stand up for themselves, or if we see something that's just morally wrong, like it's just wrong, we'll say something. But it's like, I'm just like, do the elites actually want to keep all these handlers? Do they actually really want to keep all of them? Or at some point, will they become the loose ends that have, because think about it, like if let's just say every TI dies, right? Let's say every TI dies. What happens to the handlers? Because if you kill every morally sound person off the planet, what happens to the rest of the world? And this is when I go back to the book of Enoch. This is when I bring up the book of Enoch, because if you read or listen to the book of Enoch, we are literally verbatim following each step or each chapter that's mentioned in that book. You know what? I'm going to end it right there. Yeah. Because honestly, that's what people need to do. People need to read the book of Enoch. The book of Enoch is one of the only few scriptures or books that should have been in the Bible, but it was taken out. Well, I don't know when it was taken out, but we all know the Romans basically did whatever they want with the Holy Bible. So, yeah. All I have is my truth. My life, I don't have control over my life. God has control of my life. Can no man or woman know the time, day, or how they're going to die? We don't have control over our death or our lives. We can do everything that we can to try to see if we can prolong our lives, but we can't stop ourselves from dying. And that's what the technocratic society, the transhumanists are trying to do. They're trying to actually completely disobey the natural laws of nature. They're trying to literally disrespect God right to his face and say, oh, you think you're going to be able to kill me? Watch what I can do with technology. I'm going to take my consciousness and I'm going to transfer it into, a cloud. And then, when the day comes, I can transfer my consciousness into something, into another body, or maybe some type of something that looks human-like. Or, they'll just say, oh, look what I can do with this technology, you so-called God. I can basically give myself supreme health. But the thing is, you're not doing that. You are giving away more of your own power to something that's not even real. Artificial intelligence is not real. It's a computer. And you know what happens with computers? They can glitch. They can get infected with malware. They can get a virus. Or hell, they can even short circuit. There could be, they can even be completely destroyed by an EMP. They can be destroyed by X-class solar flares. So your life is still in the balance. Your life is still hanging on by a thread, because if that system were to go down, what happens? Like, think about it. If all of these people are actually being kept alive because of a machine learning artificial intelligence, what do you think could happen if this system were to basically completely just go? Would everyone just die? Because if they're not actually monitoring their own energy manually, then what happens to these people then? If the system itself is destroyed, what happens to the people who are depending on this system to keep them alive? Because they obviously don't have the emotional energy like I do to manage their own energy. So if the whole system was to be destroyed, then what happens to the people that's linked to the system? Do they just die with the system? And it's funny because that's in Revelation. That's in Revelation. I forgot where, but it mentions, there'll be a time where people will not be able to buy or sell unless they have the mark of the beast. The mark would be nanotechnology, or Then there's the part where all those who worship the beast, when the beast is destroyed or casted away, something like that, those who follow the beast will go down with the beast too. So it's like, if that were to happen, would these people actually still survive? If this system were to get shut down, would they still survive? That's a whole theory in itself. Because from what I can see based on my experiences, I don't think I'm augmented, or maybe not to the fullest extent like everyone else, because everyone else, they're probably seeing all types of visual information everywhere. Because you know how, like, when you're walking down the street and you see, you know, people who are transhumanists, you already know, if you're paying attention to their body language, their nonverbal cues, they move different from like regular people. They just move differently. And then on top of that, they always do this weird little look thing. Like, they'll be looking at you, but it's not as if they're looking at you, but it's more like they're reading something on you. I don't know. I'm hearing them say Chris James is da 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 da. I don't know. So you know what? I just go ahead and you know what? I just got some more chills. So I'm gonna just say this. May God have mercy on the souls of those who are struggling, who are being wrongfully persecuted. May peace be granted to all those people who are placed in a constant, perpetual state of fear and anxiety. May all those who are still fighting the good fight, those who are still trying to be a full representation of God's love and honesty and integrity, in those moral values, that Christ consciousness. May God bless all those people. May God bless all those people. And I'm supposed to feel bad for those who were blackmailed into this stuff. I'm supposed to feel bad. I'm supposed to feel bad for those who were basically coerced or told that, oh, if you don't do this, then we're going to kill your whole family or something like that. I'm supposed to feel bad for them. But a part of me is just like, I hope you don't call yourself a Christian. Cause I'm like, Jesus carried his own cross. Yo, Jesus carried his own cross and then got nailed to it. And then died in front of everybody that watched. Everybody watched him. Look, I'm getting more chills now. Everybody watched them, stoned them and everything. Everybody. And then the sad part is all the people that was basically watching Jesus get persecuted and murdered before their eyes, none of them actually had facts. They all were just listening to slander and like lies told on Jesus. We're literally repeating centuries and centuries and centuries old of acts. And still to this day, people don't have no remorse for any of it. But yet, they'll still pop up in the churches. They'll still, walk around, try to act neighborly and whatnot. But behind closed doors, they're watching snuff videos of children, getting killed, or men and children being sexually abused, electronically, or the physical one, either one. And then in their mind, or maybe they're being conditioned to believe, oh, he deserved it. Yeah, that's good for him. But you don't even have the facts that they actually deserve it, though. Especially with deep fake everything out now, deep fake videos, deep fake pictures, deep fake voice cloning. You have no idea if that person actually deserves what they get, though. You have no idea. And then they're like, and this crazy thing is, the handlers who hacked me, they're constantly telling their viewers, their audience on the broadcasting, oh, he has no respect for women. But I'm like, how are you gonna say I don't have respect for women, but you two, there's 4 of them, and 2 women, 2 men. There's 2 women watching other women getting tormented with the same technology. I literally sit down with, women who are TIs, and they tell me their stories about how they're being like forced into sexual stimulations, and like they literally feel like someone is raping them. And then, but there's no physical body. It's like they can't even fight back, because it's like, how do you fight back against an electrical stimulation? Yeah. My truth is going to ring out something crazy. To God be the glory. Anyway. Yeah, that was interesting. That whole, I ain't never, that was weird. All right. Yeah, I'm out. As always, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.